of minutes here with the gang from Saturday Night, which premieres here on NBC at 11:30 on the 11th of October from Studio 8H here at Rockefeller Center. And we just happen to have the producer of the program, Mr. Lorne Michaels, with us, the producer of Saturday Night, and members of his company. What should we look for on your program?
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night!
When SNL first aired in 1975, it was unclear if this style of satirical sketch comedy would work on American television. Saturday Night, as the show was originally named, was the brainchild of a 30-year-old producer with a cast of complete unknowns and no regular host. The show featured an unusual combination of irreverent goofiness and topical satire, which had little in common with the safer, polished brand of comedy popular on TV at the time. Instead of turning to a veteran comedian to guide the show, Saturday Night introduced a new celebrity host every week, which often included performers with little or no comedy experience. As the crew adjusted to tight production schedules and live performances, Saturday Night quickly gained a reputation for on-air mistakes and behind-the-scenes chaos. However, rather than destroy the show, these elements created a unique brand that allowed Saturday Night to turn fringe comedy into a cultural event.
A review of the first season noted that on Saturday Night, irreverence is the rule rather than the exception. If traditional show business valued star power, pageantry, and carefully cultivated personas, Saturday Night countered with no stars, no pageantry, and a willingness to make jokes about anyone and anything. On Saturday Night, everything from celebrity deaths to geopolitics was fair game, and skits frequently pushed the limits of good taste. On a segment called Weekend Update, Chevy Chase turned the death of Spanish dictator Francisco Franco into a recurring bit.
Our top story tonight. Francisco Franco is still dead.
However, as bold as Saturday Night was, it was not the first television program to embrace modern satire. That Was the Week That Was pioneered topical, news-inspired humor. Laugh-In featured a group of young comedians. And Monty Python's Flying Circus developed a similar brand of anti-establishment satire.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Saturday Night was simply the first to combine all three of these elements, while also drawing inspiration from beyond television. Many of the original Saturday Night cast members were recruited from stage shows, improv groups, and comedy magazines, and they adapted their underground comedic sensibilities to television. A review from The New Yorker observed, "It is an attempt, finally, to provide entertainment on television in a recognizable, human, non-celebrity voice, a stark contrast to television's synthetic, Hollywood-style show business past."
Another feature that made Saturday Night unique was its tradition of choosing a new celebrity guest to host the show every week. Rather than build the show around a veteran comedian, Saturday Night rotated hosts, with choices ranging from film stars to famous singers to politicians. Producer Lorne Michaels explained, "I pick people who I think are unique, and I try not to pick television people. Most of the hosts are from the movies." By changing hosts every week, Saturday Night was able to capitalize on pop culture trends, and contemporary reviews complemented the hip group of celebrities tasked with hosting the show.
Some hosts were more experienced than others. The first season of Saturday Night included episodes hosted by stand-up comedian George Carlin and White House Press Secretary Ron Nessen.
Tonight, it's our purpose to refute the widely believed misconception that too many cooks spoil the broth.
This mix of talent produced an unexpected benefit for the show. Each host collaborated with the staff of Saturday Night to write and perform sketches. Hosts with less comedy experience had to rely more on the cast, allowing the show's young performers to step into the spotlight. As the first season progressed, cast members like Chevy Chase and John Belushi became the stars of Saturday Night, and their bold, iconoclastic comedy formed the core of the show's identity.
Saturday Night quickly became famous for its live performances, even though many contemporary programs were also filmed live. As a critic from the Washington Post explained, Saturday Night was alive, with a deliberately grounded look, on-air miscues.
Substituting for vacationing Chevy Chase is his sister Rita.
Actually, Rita is on vacation.
And behind-the-scenes chaos that created a sense of unpredictable spontaneity. A New Yorker review described the look of the show as deliberately untidy and informal, with a barren television studio creating the impression of a darkened, lively TV cabaret. The performances on Saturday night were similarly unpolished, with the cast and hosts occasionally forgetting lines or missing cues. In an on-set mishap involving John Belushi's samurai character, Belushi accidentally stabbed host Buck Henry with a prop sword on live television. This incident was one of the many well-documented examples of behind-the-scenes and on-screen chaos at Saturday night. Contemporary reviews from the Washington Post and the New York Times highlighted conflicts with censors, confusion over lines, and last-minute changes to the show. Reports of these incidents impacted public discourse about Saturday night, and the show was recognized as having a chaotic, dysfunctional production environment. Ironically, this reputation was vital to the success of Saturday night. Viewers who were watching live could expect anything to happen at any given moment, as the show always seemed at risk of dissolving into chaos. Intentional or not, this element of danger created a viewing experience that was both literally and spiritually live.
The first season of Saturday Night is often hailed as revolutionary, like nothing that had aired on television before. This isn't entirely the case. Saturday Night was not the first television show to broadcast live, make jokes about current events, or experiment with modern satire. However, by combining topical satire with a young cast, celebrity hosts, and a reputation for behind-the-scenes dysfunction, Saturday Night established a unique brand of chaotic, subversive comedy. The show was alive, and anything could happen at any time. Now, Saturday Night Live is filming its 50th season. The show has changed a lot since its debut, but many of the elements that were revolutionary in season 1 have remained. SNL is still performed live, and sketches are still written and rehearsed just days before they air on network television. SNL still rotates celebrity hosts and hires young improv performers and stand-up comedians. After 50 years, it is clear that the SNL style of sketch comedy can work on American television, but somehow the show still feels dangerous and subversive. Saturday Night Live continues to change, but the formula established by the first season lives on and continues to impact American television today.
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night!